I'm Mehak, and for today's video, I'll be sharing with you all a close to mask-proof makeup routine. So, mask being an essential in all of our lives with everything that's going on around, I thought of making this video where I'll share some tips and tricks as to how to make your makeup last underneath the mask. Because your makeup is essentially trapped in the middle of your mask and your skin has a tendency to push out oils and sweat, and your mask has obviously the tendency to keep heat intact in your face, it becomes difficult for the makeup to even last the basic time, which is 3 to 4 hours that normally any makeup can pull through. Makeup can end up being a bad thing to wear under a mask because the heat that the mask creates does not give any exit for the makeup. So the only way for makeup to move around is for it to go into your pores. So finally, with all of that being said, let's get started. Before we start off with makeup, there is some prep work that we have to take into consideration. So what is prep work? Prep is basically what your skin has to have before you put on all the makeup that we are going to put in sometime. For prep work, the basic rule is to give your skin some time. All of the products that you will put on top of your skin after you wash your face, so let's say toner, moisturizer, sunscreen, those three basic things. If you're adding anything else like serums, etc., but those three basic things, if you're wearing that on top of your face as your morning routine, it's important for you to let every layer of product settle. So every time you add a layer, let's say you're adding toner to your skin, you let it settle for a good 15 minutes. Next, when you add in your moisturizer and your sunscreen, you again give it some time for it to settle. Because if you don't give it time to settle, all that it's going to be is more prone for the makeup that you put on top of it to split and break apart. Like I've mentioned before, makeup underneath mask can be very tricky, and in general the lasting power of makeup happens to reduce pretty much in half every time you put on a mask. So no, makeup underneath mask cannot be 100% transfer proof. It probably can be transfer proof up to some extent, which means you'll still have some transfer here and there on your mask, nothing major. But obviously over time, with the longer you wear your makeup, more transfer you will have. Now that we've spoken all about how the possibility of the makeup to be 100% transfer proof is not so real, and all about prep work, skincare, how much time to give your skincare to settle into your skin, etc., let's hop on to the makeup. For makeup, obviously primer over here plays an important role. Without primer, creating this whole look will pretty much not make any sense because primer is key in terms of filling up those pores. So for primer today, I have with me the L'Oreal Base Magique primer, and this over here is a thick silicone, like a heavy cream formula. The best kind of primers to use underneath a mask is the kind of primers that have little bit of a silicone texture or something that contains silicone or dimethicone. Those two silicones generally are the ones that have the capacity to fill into your pores, which is what we need for a longer lasting base. These kinds of primers definitely have a tendency to clog your pores, so it increases the chances of some acne or little white bumps. Just thought that you guys should know about it, so yeah, at your own risk. For foundation, it is key to use a matte foundation with decent coverage and something that claims to last for very long. And one of the perfect fits that I have in my collection is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. This is in the shade 108, and this is a matte foundation. It says in its name Infallible Pro Matte, and it also claims to last for 24 hours. I don't think anyone's wearing makeup for that long, but this definitely seemed like the perfect pick for today's makeup. Any product that claims to be dewy, glowy, or fresh in its finish are the kind of products that cannot be used under a mask, because those products have the tendency to move around, and with the glowy effect that they give, they don't settle into the skin completely. So they have a tendency obviously to cling onto the mask, and they don't happen to be transfer proof. For foundation, make sure you're using a light layer. Don't keep on layering the products, because what will happen is that it will break apart. I'll be using a dense kabuki brush like this, and I'll be using a little bit of foundation all over my face. For the video today, I'll be focusing only around the bridge of my nose and on the cheekbones and jawline, because that's the area where you'll normally have your mask sitting on your face. After I got done using a brush, I used a damp sponge and used that to run it all over my face. And by doing that, you'll have lesser product build up on your skin. That is how much extra foundation I had on my skin. Not a lot, but at least something, and this will reduce the overall layering process that goes on in the makeup. For powder, I'd recommend using translucent powder, and then with the help of a damp sponge picking up the powder and setting on the skin. I have used that technique in my previous video, I'll link it up somewhere over here. But for today's video, I'll be doing something else. I'll be using a compact powder which again claims to be matte and lasts long. Foundation and the compact are from the same range. They're both from the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte range. The powder claims to last for up to 16 hours. For my brush, I'll be using again another dense kabuki brush. This one is a flat top kabuki brush, because over here it's straight and it's just flat. And you can obviously use the same old round top kabuki brush that you might have used for foundation. Irrespective of the brushes, I'll be picking up the powder on this brush. I'll just be stamping it in the pan, and I'll be picking up some product and I'll be pressing that directly onto the skin. With the help of this, you'll ensure that the foundation is locked with the powder, and the powder is obviously matte, so the chances for it to transfer onto the mask is less. After every single step, so after foundation, the way I use a sponge, I just was running it across my face to pick up any excess product. I'll be doing that after every single step. So I'll be doing the same even after powder. I am skipping concealer for this video because generally concealers have a more creamier texture, they're more soft in their feel as compared to a foundation. A lot of the concealers that I personally own have a more creamy formula. So if you have a concealer that's more matte, then please feel free to use that concealer. For me personally today, I've used the same foundation and I've used a light layer underneath my eye, and obviously I've applied the foundation all over my face. So I've done my eyeshadow, mascara and my eyebrows. I've not done anything great. It's just a little bit of brown in the crease with a highlighter on the lid and a good coat of mascara, and just done my brows. If you're curious about the eyeshadow or the mascara, I will mention the products that I've used in the description box below. But here is a closer look on the eyeshadow. Something that I forgot to mention while I was doing powder is that please make sure that you're pressing your brush on your oily areas really well. So when you pick up the powder from the pan and you have the powder on the brush, make sure around your oily areas. For me, my oily areas personally are around the nose, my nose and my chin majorly, and a little bit on my forehead. So all that you have to do is make sure that you're picking up the product and pressing it really well into the skin. Now that we're done with the base and with the eyes, let's hop on to blush, bronzer and highlight. So for these 3 steps, the key thing to remember is to use lesser product. Y'all can totally stop at this step and just wear a transfer proof lipstick and wear your mask and hop out of the door. But I'm just going to be doing the blush, the bronzer and the highlight as well in this video so that we're completing the entire routine. So like I mentioned, light layering is the key, and I'll be fast forwarding through the whole blush, bronzer and highlight part of this video. But for products, I'll be using the Maybelline Master Contour palette. I'll be using this contour shade over here, but I'll be using it as a bronzer. For blush, I'll be using the Maybelline Cheeky Glow Blush. This one over here is in the shade Peachy Sweetie. For highlighter, I'll be using one of my favorites, the Maybelline Master Chrome in the shade Molten Golden. And this was very close to breaking. It actually broke, but I just pressed it back into the pan. That is how it looks like. Super pretty. I just got done with blush, bronzer and highlight, and I hope you guys could see, but I was using a very light layer of product. Make sure you're tapping your brush on the palette or on some corner somewhere so that your excess product from the brush is not on the brush. And obviously I went over with my damp sponge all over my face. Now for the last and final step, let's do lips. For lips, this is not something that you all are unaware of. Using anything like a gloss or a tinted lip balm or a lip balm in general is not going to last long. It's obviously going to be one of the first things to transfer onto the mask. Something to use instead is a lip color that claims to be transfer proof or has a long staying power, or something that is extremely matte. 2 or 3 ranges that I'd like to recommend. Firstly is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink Lipstick. So this lipstick is budge proof, it's matte, and it also claims to last I think up till 16 hours. I am not very sure, but like the name suggests, it's a matte ink, so it's not going anywhere. Next up for lipsticks, I also would recommend the Sugar Smudge Me Not liquid lipsticks. I don't have one with me right now, but I have a burnt orange shade, and I remember it lasted on me throughout the day, so that is also a good lip shade or lip range to check out. Lastly, also to look into a lip tint or a lip stain, something that stains your lips and is budge proof throughout the day is a good option. One of my recommendations is the NYX Epic Ink. This particular shade is very dark and it's a very grungy shade, but obviously they have other shades, not the most wearable colors, but they have other more brown tones. You can check that out too. For today, I'll be using the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink, and this is in a really beautiful color. It's called Mover. So bullet lipsticks are generally the kind of lipsticks that are not 100% transfer proof, but if you are someone who doesn't have a liquid lipstick on hand or doesn't have even a lip tint, what you can do is apply your bullet lipstick and then press a tissue paper onto your lips and pick up any excess lipstick, and then use a light layer of translucent powder or even baby powder on your lips, pulse your lips, and if you touch it, you'll feel a soft matte effect. And you can also do the transfer test. So I'm just going to kiss the back of my hand, and as you can see, there is pretty much no transfer at all. This lipstick, like I mentioned, is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink lipstick, and it's this really pretty deep mauve color, a really beautiful everyday color, especially for my skin tone. And this is in the shade 160 Mover. Now, before we do the final test, I'm just going to be setting my entire face with the help of a setting spray, and I'm using the Wet n Wild matte setting spray. So now for the final test, I have with me over here a mask, and this from the inside is completely plain white. So this is going to be an ultimate test. Now I don't have unrealistic expectations. I'm definitely expecting some transfer, but like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I'm okay with a little bit of transfer, and getting makeup to be 100% transfer proof is very not so possible, but especially in terms of a mask, because of the heat that's just capsulated inside your face, it becomes difficult for makeup to last anyways. So let's see for the final test. Woo! Not too bad, not bad at all actually. So it's pretty much clean, plain white, but just a little bit over here, I'd say on top. I don't know if you guys can see. It's the slightest, most lightest transfer. So obviously I've just put on the makeup and I've just put the mask for not more than 2 minutes, but over time, when you wear the mask, the heat is more and more and more. So transfer is obviously bound to happen more the longer you wear the mask. So this makeup, I'd say, is pretty long lasting with all the techniques that we followed and with all the prep work and all of this intense glam. Not so much glam, but the techniques are what is important. And the finish, which is matte, I'm just going to give you all the close-up of this makeup. So this makeup is the perfect fit for if you have a long day or if you have an event. With all of the tips and tricks and all the techniques that we follow today, you can obviously apply this for any time, anywhere. But underneath mask, this is something that will last longer than your normal makeup routine. On that note, guys, makeup will come and go, fashion will come and go. They have no end, but something that you need to make sure is you're taking all necessary precautions in this time that the world has never seen before. Please make sure you're taking care. If you enjoyed watching today's video, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and on that note, I'll see you later. Bye! This definitely